All right, guys, so we are just a couple hours into the free agent tampering period, and we got quite a few moves to go over real quick. First, start with some running backs first here. It's DeAndre Swift. First move I saw of the day were DeAndre Swift going to the Chicago Bears. As is the case with all free agent running backs, it's always going to be a little bit of a question as to how good these guys will be at that kind of advanced age by the time they hit the market. So there's that caveat first here of I'm never going to love these free agent running backs just because of that age factor. But as far as landing spots go and opportunity goes, I think this is a pretty good one for DeAndre Swift. You go to a Chicago team that now, as they will move on from Justin Fields, go to a rookie quarterback, it hopefully means they'll throw the ball to running backs more often. That was always kind of my thing last year when Roschon Johnson was kind of getting a little bit of hype and a little bit of love, was that he kind of profiled a little bit like a DeAndre Swift light. And I didn't love that with Justin Fields at quarterback because Fields you never saw throw to the running backs at all. He would just tuck it in and scramble. I do actually have some concerns about Caleb Williams wanting to throw to running backs. Just kind of in his tape, I feel like there's been a lot of times where he passes on that and goes ahead and chucks it further downfield. And never really wants to take the dump offs. Never wants to take the easy plays, wants to go for the deeper stuff. So I don't totally love that. I think Swift, he'll probably fall into a camp similar to what we said about Miles Sanders a year ago, right? And look at how that turned out. But I do think that's kind of the range he's going to be in as kind of an RB2 option come August. This does kind of really hurt Khalil Herbert, hurts Roschon Johnson. They kind of move into backup roles in that offense. We'll see if they make any other moves, but at least, hey, Caleb Williams should at least be able to have a couple of pass catchers now on that team. Next up, Tony Pollard. He signs with the Tennessee Titans. I hate this for Tyjae Spears, but I kind of am okay with the fact that his value is going to go down. Spears is a guy who I was really kind of touting as a potential guy for next year, real breakout, as he could kind of be the feature guy in the backfield. That's going to become a lot harder now with Tony Pollard being on this team as well, but perhaps there's a chance here of him still emerging as the lead running back and Tony Pollard being a bit more of a compliment. Pollard has really only been a workhorse one time, and we kind of saw how that went in Dallas. So maybe Tyjae still gets kind of the 1A to the 1B of Pollard. Not totally sure how I'm going to rank these two guys. I feel like at the moment, I'm feeling they're going to be very similarly ranked, with Pollard being a bit ahead of Spears at the moment in Tennessee. But they did also sign a center, so that helps. But they have a bad offensive line. So they're going to need to shape that up a little bit before we get too excited about either one of those guys in Tennessee. What else? Gabe Davis, that's the other one. That's the other big one I wanted to touch on this morning. He signs a deal with Jacksonville as the Jags just continue to not give Trevor Lawrence real number one weapons, but they rather give him a lot of number two options. Gabe Davis going to Jacksonville. I'm not into it for Gabe. It more just makes me disappointed because I feel like this means my favorite landing spot for a lot of these trade candidate wide receivers is now off the board. I don't expect them to both sign Gabe Davis and have Christian Kirk and trade for Brandon Ayuk or trade for T. Higgins now. That was kind of my favorite spot for any of those guys to land, was to Jacksonville. And so that disappoints me. And that just seems like that real premier potential landing spot is just kind of off the board now. Gabe Davis, he's Gabe Davis, right? He's going to be a flex option wide receiver who on any given week, he's going to catch 0 passes, and then any other given week, he's going to catch 4 for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. A lot of move around the NFL, non-fantasy related ones. Jonathan Grenard going to Minnesota is a deal I really like from Minnesota, just kind of basically tearing down from Danielle Hunter, but getting younger with that move to Grenard. So I like that quite a bit. No news yet on the other highest end running backs. No news on the quarterbacks either as far as Kirk Cousins goes. But that's it for now. So keep on checking in, guys. Stay subscribed right here to the channel. We're going to keep on updating you guys as we get more stuff going on in NFL free agency.